7 grams. K-Cello. R.I.P. the WAP. I miss you, my nigga.
Okay, I'm feeling good on a bad day. Put the phone in the gas tank. How much more can a man take? I'm pushing deep like a bad cake. Pull your bitch on a bad day. Put the ash in the ashtray. Hit the hole like a lottery. Stole a hole like a robbery. Don't deal with a side fee. As a young nigga, saw a lot of things. In the trap with a dime piece. Hot blocks with a devil beat. Told my nigga I'll never leave. Coke rush, I'll never sleep. The street life made 2 grams, but that's life. Beef in the 99. We got lost in the street lights, 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 lost in the. We in the club all night. Yeah. We got lost in the street lights. Where do I start? Where do I start? Where do I start? Meditate, then I gather my thoughts. It was all a lie, even though they act like it's a walk in the park. Fell in love with the streets. I gave her my heart, she tore it apart. The minute you fall, who can you trust? Really nobody at all. That you could depend on your dog. You hit him collect to get you a check, he won't even answer your call. Remember when y'all were getting shut up, blowing Cuban cigars, switching lanes in them foreign cars, fucking bitches digging only walls in the club, feeling like you a god. Ha! But really though, we was just young niggas lost, with dreams of copping a Porsche. Get money, fuck women and floss, breaking laws of all sorts, living life without cause. A few of us here to reminisce, but most of the clique is gone. We never knew that the revenue would compensate for our flaws. So what do you do to cope? Nobody you know feels hope. So we OD'd on the weed smoke and the codeine cause we need hope. We OD'd on the weed smoke and the codeine cause we need hope. Like a thief in the night. We got lost in the street lights, 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 lost in the. We in the club all night. We got lost in the street lights, lost in the street lights, lost in the street lights, lost in the street lights.
Seven grams. K-Cello.
Roaming, I'm packing my bags and going. It's a challenging act. It's a balancing act. Visit beautiful places. It's more out here than
supreme being, supreme light. I manifest the knowledge for wisdom to shine bright. How you think you see the moon unless in the sun bright? Women claim independent, you can never dim the light.
Solomon's Temple. Go where the kings go.
Hey man, if you ain't going to the radio station, you missing out on good music that's upload, new commercials, you know what I'm saying, new processes. It's in the air, it's in the air. And you know, Naga is a promotion beast. It's what I do. I get out here and I show that love. You already know the vibes. Come through to Naga's radio station. If you want to get music slots, opportunities, advertisements, whatever you need, hit me up. We making these things happen on the bigger scale. Now we taking it to the next level. Promotion team is strong. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. Inbox me. Connect me. Whatever you need. Whatever I'm saying. If it fits you, holla at me. I got you. You already know the vibes, man. This Naga on Naga's radio station. Hit me up so I can get you in rotation. You already know the vibes. One. Oh, and I do got some connects out in other places where there is studio access and stuff of that nature. So if you're an aspiring artist and you want to make something happen, hit me up. I got you. Naga.
Solomon's Temple, where you can get herbal products, organic herbs, spiritual supplies, crystals and incense, candles, books, spiritual consultations, and life coaching. Solomon's Temple. You can contact us at 803-661-8945. That's 803-661-8945. And also, if you would just like to go to our website, you can contact us at www.solomonshealinggarden.org. That's www.solomonshealinggarden.org. We're located on 7201 Perk Lane Road, Suite C, Columbia, South Carolina, 29223. That's 7201 Park Lane Road, Suite C, Columbia, South Carolina, 29223. See you there.
Supreme rising, supreme evening, supreme night, supreme day. Peace King, Respect King. You already know the vibes. I'm just setting up this this new streaming situation that I have going on here, to where I can respond to everybody a lot more clearer and have more access to my my commercials and stuff of that nature. So come on in, get situated, you know. I'm gonna play a little music in the background for a moment just to see if we can get a couple people to come in the house. This will be the tracks of my brother 7 Grams that we'll hear in the background.
Mother sunrise.
Look, amen like church. Nigga came from the block. I was raised from the dirt. Mother sun, mother earth. On the phone we talk. Showed her all my scars. Bullet wounds to the heart. She placed a hand on my back. She said, "Calm, my love."
I am Naga.
My scars. Come close to my love.
I appreciate anybody coming through. Like I said, once again, salute OG.
You'll be my only
in
one.
the building. Your energy is always appreciated and highly accepted, King.
I fell in love with her golden locks.
And your
We
family.
talked on the phone for hours. And her smile was like the perfect flower. I could just stare at her for hours. The radiant one. My mother's middle son. Mother sunrise has
Tonight is gonna
begun.
get deep. Cause ain't nobody gonna know where I'm coming with this.
Her
But
voice loud like an African drum, but still calm like a whisper.
get a couple people to come into
I
the
drunk
house
her
right away.
essence, a perfect
Get
elixir.
your L's.
Now let's
You know what I'm
dance to the
saying? Get
rhythm.
your drink, whatever you're gonna
See,
do. Pull your chair up,
the
get your
truth was
favorite
always
blanket.
forbidden.
Get your friend,
Black
get your
love
woman.
it was not
Call
permitted.
somebody. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
come,
Whatever you're
just
gonna
follow
do,
me.
get it.
Come heal with me. Let's escape the system. This is
Get
not
your
living.
crystals.
See,
Get your
we're
water.
so quick to judge
Light
and
your
easy to hurt.
incense.
Now who hit harder and who hit first? See, we need ancient love, unconditional love. See the pain, see that what changed us. Turned
Got
us
my
into
crystals.
distant strangers.
Got my crystals
See,
right on the bottom.
we
Get
need
ready.
love.
All right, I ain't want to be taking a whole bunch of time. I don't like the way to like to get that go ahead and get that message out. I've been holding this shit all day. So I'm gonna turn,
Mother sunrise.
turn the music down all the way. I'll play it low.
Look, amen like church. Nigga came from the block. I was raised from the dirt. Mother sun, mother earth. On the phone we talk. Showed her all my
Right.
scars. Bullet wounds to the heart. She placed the
So tonight's topic is about Repel and the light. And these topics are not going to be in an aspect to where you can put them with any normal topic of discussion that one would have in frequency to the circumstance of our existence, but I'm going to show you how this is very important, because the concept of reality is getting taken out of concept, and you even see people falsely labeling, and it's like it's always unbeknownst to you when things are taking place. You don't see these things taking place, and you're not allowing yourself to have the proper comprehension on these vibrations and illustrations that are taking place in life. When I say illustrations, because they're manifesting in people, through people, as illustrate. Yeah, we burning big blunt tonight. We on that vibe. It's 10:49. That's 113. That's on that 5. So we're gonna make that change happen right now. We got protection and clarity sitting right next to each other. The world is right in the situation, so we're gonna see protection and clarity to change for the betterment of the world. Vibe with me. All right, so when we speak towards the feminine aspect, we're talking about the negative frequency that comes into the universe. But when this came into the universe first, this came out of the force of the L, the light that's pulsing from another dimension, completely filling up this dimension, this other space. This was all-knowing. All-knowing was a happenstance. The energy, as it consumes one area, it becomes all-knowing in that particular aspect. All-knowing is particularly to something that once was not known. It's the only reason why you can have that as a construct. So all-knowing came from not knowing. So the light was once not in the space that it was previously, coming to where it is now. So that means when it completed its filling of one space, it became all-knowing of that place, thus popping the existence. So if you have a circle and the explosion of that is going to take place, it's going to simultaneously find a weakened spot, and that weakened spot is going to push, and then it's going to pop like that. It's going to explode. That opening right there, that fluidity, it created what we call labias, the labia. So it kind of flows out like this. That's an explosion point. And all the force comes flowing out of that way, upward this way. It flows outward. So that flow of energy that popped, that one of all-knowing existence, created a womb. That womb of explosion in that point flowed outward. And now while it's flowing outward into another space, it is creating or filling up this other space as such. Now, as it explodes outward, everything from that explosion point at this point blew that way. It blew that way. Everything went out that way. I'm repeating this because I need you to absorb the negative energy. This is opposites. The positive is all-knowing. The negative is when it now comes into a new existence and it implodes that way. So now while it's exploding out that way, it's creating a motion called repel. That's the motion of repel that it's creating at that moment. The motion of repel as it explodes out in all its magnitude was a characteristic of its own. It wasn't masculine. It wasn't feminine. It was repel. This is where the calm waters of anything ever being there started moving. This is where the waves of existence came from. So you have to imagine that initial force, boom, and it blew everything out in different directions, all different directions. These are waves going everywhere. The waves, as they flow out, they're boom, boom, just blowing. Everything is flying. Pieces are just flying. It's an explosion, right? And an aspect, because it's imploded. It's coming from the inside out. So it's going out this way, right? As this energy is flowing and being thrown outward, it has one motion, which is repel. Now, within this motion of repel, you have friction, you have heat, you have a lot of different types of solidification, because this is minerals that are being burnt down, burnt off. And the more you put minerals through their purification aspect, which is any form of heat, friction, force, direction, all these things will purify it because there's heat coming with it. Not until and actually adding the aspect of divine energy being inlaid in everything that's being blown out, because now that is traveling at the speed of light also through the existence, right? So this is all mixing together. This is where the non-ether comes in. The non-ether starts spinning all this shit together as it's being flown everywhere, right? But we have to stay on point. We're talking about the repel aspect. And repel was the first characteristic that the womb was taking on, because as it was being punctured, right? It was being punctured. And you know what, to be honest, as I'm sitting there thinking about it and I'm watching the motion take place, there's waves that took place before the actual womb. This would be the bump. This would be the hill. This would be the first force that's actually coming to make itself known before it actually goes like this. It was going like this. It was pushing. So that hill going into the new existence was actually creating waves. It was actually a forecoming. It was actually a forecoming of that particular energy, and it was pushing off. As it pushed off and it exploded out that way, it started creating what the force was coming into existence. This was the force being coming into existence. This was Repel beginning to understand its value, because there is a plane of existence that had no motion. It was still. Peace and love, whoever came in the building. I can't really see down there because my phone is cracked up, but peace and love to you if you're in the building. Yeah, I'm live streaming in the group right now. I'm live streaming on Facebook, and I'm also live streaming on YouTube. So, oh, Fire Moon 2 most. Fireman 2 most. Respect to you, brother. My phone is cracked, so I got my computer and my phone recording. I'm recording 3 ways right now. So I got my laptop recording on 2 different streams, and I got my phone recording in the group right now. So excuse me. But yeah, just to stay on task. So the force motion is actually pushing out, and as it's pushing out, it's creating what we call repel. And this is the waves that were once calm in a space of existence where there was no motion, just calm. Now they're starting to move in opposite directions, because the bump is being the force of the divine energy is starting to now come into this existence before the womb is actually exploded. And when that force comes through, it popped in a fury, bam, and it blew everything out in different directions. Respect to you, brother, respect. And it blew everything in different directions. Now we have the power of repel. This is the first characteristic, the power of repel. And the feminine aspect, the negative aspect, was formulated off of the waves of existence. The L was the actual angle of the direction that the force was coming from. So now the divine stabilization of that energy was one force of flow. It was just flowing, boom, flowing outward. All the creation that would get a chance to be touched or graced by that presence was being created, whether it wanted to or not. This was just off of the motion. So you have incremental motions. These are different spots in existence where things were being ripped from that space, and because its spot in its existence and its direction of the force, how it was being repelled off, allowed it to be created in its own aspect. This is how we are so similar but not the same. Okay, this is why we're similar in so many aspects, but we're not the same. But collectively, we're all created off of that force, off of that spark, off of that energy that came into the nothing and started becoming all-knowing now in this space. The time we're in now is filling up the all-knowing of this space. So this brings us back to the original characteristics of how these things actually took place and what it looked like when we were coming into existence. So when people are looking at women right now, you're saying, oh, women are more masculine because they don't want anything. No, women are dealing with the force, the energy of repel right now. That's not a masculine energy. It's the first energy that happened when the divine energy was pushing through a space where there was nothing but calm energy. We've lived this existence in so many different lives in so many different ways. We're still trying to obtain things that we have already obtained in a different formulation. We're not seeing that this time we're living in is a filling up of divine energy, no matter how you look at it. This is why they say this is the time of knowing, all knowing. It's the light is illuminating everything. You're going to know everything no matter what. You can sit still and hear truth everywhere you are. to fight against that right now would be the most detrimental thing you can be doing, because divine energy, that's the direction that is going. It's filling up this existence. And once this existence is full, there will be another great womb exploding, and it will be creating another aspect. And you will be a part of this aspect. This will be another foregoing, another golden ball of existence that has been created. And everything that has not understood this fortuitive change of universal principle will be left in the golden energy to be purified. These people will live the golden ages because they have lived so much turmoil and hasn't had a time to digest divine energy, like literally digest divine energy. This is why they speak the first will be last in these aspects, because once the divine energy is completely full in its existence, there will not be no wrong to be done. It'll be creating another aspect. It'll be filling up in this other aspect wherever it's going through dimension and time and space. But understanding that these characteristics, now the men are taking more of an angled aspect. You hear men becoming more intelligent with looking at the directions of how we see things. You see men picking up the L in all aspects, no matter how it's laid. Their perception of seeing different values is articulated to its highest esteem right now, especially original men. You see them speaking at their highest capability and platform aspect. We don't have to put terms of societal information that happened through existence to explain what we're talking about. This is a merge of the completion of a universe. This is just what's happening in a nutshell. All the energy is filling up in one bowl. So if you had an hourglass, and that hourglass was seen in the reverse to the true aspect of the universe, we would see it as running out of time, because the time will be filling up in one space. But when in fact the time is coming from one space as it's already filled, and it's now filling up the other space. So it's not that it's seeping out, it's that it's filling up a space. So this is another complete infinity completed. And now we're going into another one. They make you look like the time is running out, but it's really filling up that space. So divine completes processes. It doesn't empty processes. Time doesn't go away, it multiplies. So wherever you think that you're losing time, you're actually gaining power, because knowledge is fortuitive. So the more you know, the more you have completed. It has nothing to do with losing. See, this world is a reflection. So the reflection is flipped. So when you get the frequencies from the universe, they come to you on a different receiving hand. So instead of you facing away from the sun and shining into the shadow as the light yourself, you turn to the sun and absorb the energy that comes down. When in fact, you are supposed to be the next ruling body that should be projecting the energy outward. This is a fact. So now the reason why the energies are going the way they are in existence in the time that we're living in right now is because it has nothing to do with women and men. It's not the men are bad and the women are bad. The men are good, the women are good. That's not what this whole thing is about. It's never going to be about that. That right there had to do everything with the division of the aspect of you not being able to see these things that are taking place today. That's what that's for. That whole criteria of information, that narrative that you guys are all going back and forth about who's this and who's not that. That energy is specifically there to keep you away from the aspect of understanding what I'm telling you right now. You combine negative frequency, the word negative, and you multiply that with the flip of the existence of how we comprehend the frequencies coming from above. So here we see negative in these different terms as bad or whatever they serve in particular purposes, i.e. to the ego, or how we see it fit to serve us. But the universe does not have a jurisdiction of terms that only benefit according to the possibility of how one thinks. It's just a frequency of its original motion, and you have to align up yourself with that in order to understand what you are. But if you're saying that they say this is what this is, and I'm going according to what they say this is, you're confused. That's cognitive dissonance. Completely. Yes, you are the female frequency. Yes, the female frequency is a negative frequency, but it's repel. And it's repel because it was being mixed. It was able to come together in its mastery as it flowed out in the universe. That's repel. The light, and it gets dope, because the light had objects that flowed out with the repel, with the force that got thrown out all the way out into the existence. And we call them moons. But off of the water, the etheric water, the moon was able to reflect the light, which showed the distance of how far the light was able to stretch, and seeing how far the energy was able to consist its level of heat from one space to another. The moon was the marker and the reflection of the ether. So the moon would shine down on the water and show the distance of how far the light was able to travel. That's the light. It was always there, no matter. The ether was always there, no matter. This was the combination of the two. Even in their weakest points, they still reflected. The water is, it's about to get deep. Let's just travel with me, because it's about to get deep. We look at the signs and we look at the zodiac. You're supposed to be able to absorb your action of what you are made as. Understanding the combination of how all the elements go together and how they create the unison is the simultaneous understanding of how far the light is traveling to hold stability in one aspect of creation. We're not at a safe pace. We're at a pace where we're supposed to pick it up and become the next gas station, the next solar expanse. So once you understand that the water bringeth the life, even with the fire creature, you absorb the fire from some of your counterparts who might want to expel the fire. The lion is happy. The lion is happy because it's so absorbent. I take on the fire. I will take in the fire. And you will you will quench your thirst by showing your control of the fire. You will come to the water and quench your thirst by showing your control of how you control the fire on land. Land shall make pathways for the water to go and travel to bring forth life. Wind will come from the water as the water flows. We will work in a unison. You will protect the etheric water in all its majesty because it brings forth the life. You may want to always see your reflection as yourself. The water will show you your truth because it's your reflection you see. When I am still, you see your reflection in me. Protect the water that brings forth the life. Allow it to flow so we can bring forth the airy motion of how the heads of air will freely fly through the air of existence with no constitution or condition, unconditionally cooling off the aspect of some fire that may burn and want to burn and destroy the natural processes, untamed or unchecked by the absorbent fire that can be quenched only by the water. Let's not get this out of control. These are universal principles, set in motion so far away, but easily can be tempted not to serve its purpose because of how far it is away from the light itself. This starts to get deep. You believe these are particular choices of your own that you are living in this existence, when in fact it displays the existence of if you are still capable of manifesting or harnessing the value of how close you are to the main source of life, because that is all connected. That's all influencing. That's all everything, even though it created the Repel. It created the Repel to have all knowing in one existence. Understand that's what's actually taking place. You are seeing if you're going to be here, left behind in this world, to still live this class that you have already learned, or are you going to be able to be repelled into the next aspect of creation and be the progenitors of the new situation? These are titles. Some people now are lost because of this value, and that value was manipulated because the ending time was coming. The fulfillment, the fulfillment was coming to the universe. The fulfillment was coming to the universe. We speak so highly about these astrological aspects to read their capabilities, but not see within your capability what it is you can read. You are so in tune with these astrology things, but not in tuned enough to know the capability of what you need from yourself within these aspects, what your capability is and how you can control the aspect of these powerful things you may obtain yourself. Who will stop people from wanting to bring this damage? Who's strong enough to contain the divine energy that falls in these placements of astrology? Because it speaks to you being in self-control. What is your self? The light obtained by one increment. The position of how that folded for you from existence, from the point of start, once that big push came through, that increment that you flew from in existence the very first time. You have a tether you're connected to. All the way up to here, you are still that same piece of energy that's separated from the start. How do you get so far away from your mind not knowing you're still connected? This is the frequency changing as it stretches. This is the frequency changing as it stretches. This is the frequency changing as it stretches farther away from the source. Whether you can understand this or not, the concepts of your concepts and your narratives is just showing your disillusion or separation from the fact of the normal placement which one came, because your other entity bodies are highly spiritual or highly condensed with that energy of Elo from farther closer to whence they came, but we are at a distance at the end. The moon shows the distance. As it reflects on the water, the color change. It is not bright, this color no more. It's a little more lighter, this color. That's how far it's stretching. Pluto gets hit too, but it's cold as shit on Pluto. It's showing you the distance of how far this warmth can be contained. This warmth. We perceive warmth as being comfort. That's a different level of that understanding from this particular place in existence. You cannot change and accept masculinity. You are only filling in the aspects of your highest capability, which is your first characteristic, which was given by the motion of the divine aspect. You are just being your highest version of Repel. And when you are repelling, you are rolling in one motion, all together the same. This is a bunch of them doing the same thing. Unknowing that you're still mixing these particular values, you carry the frequency of the male. You carry this frequency of the L. The direction of the flow, the energy, the all-knowing, it came through the etheric stillness, creating repel from every direction. Thus, these counterparts rolled and rolled into existence in all characteristics, different positions, how the splatter splew all over the different places, in different directions, different forces. It just blew. We're coming to a time where this divine energy is filling completely up this universe. The mastery of understanding the master, being such as one, is just coming back to source. There is knowledge within your own direction. How can you not read your own path? Seeing that your path might have been, once was, and what was the source. So as farther you get away, then the lighter you are connected to this blaze, then you are feeling like you have to pick up other ways. These other ways are showing you the lack of connection. I'm stronger when I'm next to the light. So this means I have to conduct more light at this space What makes you the new gas station, the new solar export, the new solar stop space? So now we're conducting or condensing or consolidating this divine energy in this aspect. So therefore, we can carry or produce that same value of the source energy, the potency of how this energy conducts in a particular value. So therefore, Pluto becomes warm. Have you seen life on Pluto yet? Soon come. Keep rising this energy. Keep rising this vibration. Change the existence of what you believe existence to be. Don't fall victim to the distance. Don't fall victim to the distance. Allow the light to become a seed in your life and grow strong in infinity. Do not fall victim to your original ways, understanding that your mix is taking place. You are rising. You are becoming something easily baked. Beautiful, golden brown, tasty, buttery all around. Put love into the food as we cook. Don't get confused because you're being mixed. That's the non-ether. That's the strengthening part. As it strengthens the heart, it strengthens the parts. As we are flung farther out into the universe, the light travels and creates infinity points. As we fill up this existence, we are getting close to a new start. You have to know more than the aspects of the narrative that are being produced and promoted by energies that are uninhabitable or unable to concept the distance of your existence. The distance of your existence. Light points are your history. Keep manifesting, bringing back everything that's meant for you. Your history, you might not even know who on your spirit team. Keep it lean, move through the air like the smoke in there. Why is it said like that? Because it shouldn't be taken so serious. It's the story of reality. How real the story is how you feel it. But I'm just telling you the events of the happening. So charismatic, I'm comfortable with the change. Everybody look at them in their own particular ways, like trying to get lost in their own particular lanes. But once you drop the fear from that, everything will really change. This is ultimately understanding the science of the existence of you, self and blowing through. How do you understand what particular parts of you that you are controlling to, that you are actually looking outside of you in the visual? Trying to pull all this in through the mental. This is your karma. How much do you remember? Then if you can remember more, open up your Akashic door, then you can go back further. Understand your greatness, not just in this level that they're creating. Then you know where they're trying to take it. It's almost like throwing a flagrant. But don't let them get you clipped in this running past. Just look past the past and know that you have already been. And then how you can create this time from cold and change it to something in the next cipher that you will win. This is transmuting the original. Keep that energy in those directions. Grandma and grandpa told y'all how to walk, right? They were the libraries. They was like, we're going to tell you how to do this right. See, the existence was always teaching how to stay close to the warmth. Just give somebody a big hug. Show them some love. If you got some paper, cut some of that up. You know, we still break bread. But don't hold on to nothing in this world. Don't hold on to nothing that's going to keep you confused or contused or something in your mind like, oh, I might be losing. Nah, just get out your own way. We supposed to be all like connecting in each way. The more we put down the ways of the ego, I'm just saying. Stop trying to describe what's going on. Stop trying to tell God what's happening. Y'all think y'all gonna have a conversation about something that's been happening for eons, like so many times before you was even thought about, like in this actual aspect. Even though you was already concepted and thought about in this actual aspect, you didn't have the conscious head to realize that you was in this actual aspect. You didn't have that conscious connection. So when you started thinking in this aspect as if you was in existence, this existence was already existing. That means it was studied over, not studied over by somebody particularly, but the cells knew where they would go. It's like I got a blueprint of where it's going to be built before it's being built there. So this is why you feel familiar with different times and spaces. You are multiplying the value of existence by understanding how existence is existing. Thus, the only way you can express that light and actually let it travel far, you can't send a glitch out. It's going to have broken spaces. You won't be able to see all the way. So it has to be purified and have you understand that so you'll carry the light yourself. It gets dark to stretch, so we leave light sticks and light lanterns to connect them, or street poles, and you can see them as the light separates a little bit, but then it connects again. Now we got to strengthen that. So they make bigger lights to stand over those too. So now we light up everything. It's not that dark. See how we working it out? It's a little colder. The wind is blowing. The wind is blowing. It's a lot of water flowing. That means creation coming. Let's put a little heat around. Let's put some life around. Protection too. Now we got more life and love is growing off of these things too. It's another set of infinity. The eights connect, and now the light is growing off. Now we got this part too to protect. Feels like the similar. Feels like familiar. Like something I remember. I ain't never been here. Yeah, yes you have. Yes you have. You remember we did that before, but it ain't in this one. So we took down what we thought we knew before and dropped that off, and that weight went with that. That wasn't the last Libra on the scale. Scale understanding how we can still raise our pressure or our light like a feather, be light like a feather, or heavy like the perception of how far we stretched out in the light. The moon was heavy as a reflector, the sunlight. We thought the moon was pulling the water, but it was just being pushed and pulled by the light force. Confused, so confused and lost, not understanding what to do. I'm just telling you a little bit of science. Don't be confused by the solitary or being solitary by what solid is, because it's solid is. Sitting out by yourself alone, but cold to the touch, like unpenetrable, can be broken by something hard to the crush, but you feel like it ain't that much. Nah, it's still here with you while you existing though. Even though it's opposite to you and your heart pump, and you feel the blood in your body and you warm, but that rock so cold. You want to separate the two. It's just in one conundrum. Understanding how we're still one and the same. One side of the energy on two sides of the coin. Don't get lost in the game. Just understand that one part gets colder because they tell you that you're so far away. You're not the source. You're not the source. We're not even from that, but I'm made in this image today. Yes, I still shine like that. So watch I grab this understanding and manifest the fact that I am the light in this spot. Connect with the negative energy, bring forth the key, unlock the divine spike, bring light on this spot. Now the infinity has filled up and brought forth, filled up more with its energy that I brought forth. Bring the calm and the collective to the calm, and now we bring forth another life entity. Entity was into me, a part of that I send forth. More light that goes farther past Pluto. You go. Now we way out here talking about we got another sun. Is that Jupiter? Now we made heat to it, spark fire. Now we got another conduit. I don't remember being on Earth. I don't know what we're gonna call this one. Is we gonna redo a cushion in Egypt? Is it more pyramids to see? Is it more canyons that are grand and things that are hiding in there for me? Is this 122,000 billion ABs before I get a chance to count up to these? Has this existence even come, or I'm just thinking past the time that I'm living in these? No, I'm just understanding that light travels, and whatever love and unconditional values that came with this one might be. It's the stabilization of understanding what we facing when I'm connected to everything that was already here, never replacing
What are we chasing if I am and always will be? Understanding the process of how it was and always will be. How do you sustain or be disdained by what I say that it will be? When I get locked in or locked into what I came from, understanding how I will be. You don't really feel me. We are the same. I'm just showing you how it's supposed to be. Don't get lost from the pressure. I'm just showing you what it's supposed to be. You're not masculine, and you're not weak. Your mind is opening up to every angle, and you are so mystique. My brother, keep thinking of everything. Feel that negative energy that came from your mother. Multiply these values and start looking past an imagination of skies and what it thinks, and how they tell you it's supposed to last, and travel through the stars as your angles flow. Be the angels of wings, how they flow, and open up the next door. My females, my feminine, you are not the evil of the line. You are not the one that devours. You are not the black hole. You are the force of Repel that came from the divine direction to expel or extol the farthest of the distance. You knew how far you can go, so you kept going and kept going no matter who had to say or what had to be mentioned. Yes, we are collective in this flow, but know that you are a part of me and I'm still a part of you, and without the connection of both, we don't have a start or a finish, a mark or a blemish. We are the karma of the remember. We are the light source that is the contender that we keep pushing for. So there's nowhere to go. We are what's in store. This is all off the top of my head. This is just my thoughts. I stay in the universe swimming through, connecting the wisdom between two forces, 2 points of knowledge that expose the truth. Trying to find out my way to get through, or I can just bully and break up the rocks and just make a straight line, but how fun is that? When I can learn the math, show people the path, sit back and laugh as we create this, recreate this, recreate this, recreate this. This ain't a matrix, but you seen the crop circles when they were burned. The winged man, how worlds was connected in his arms and he flew out like he had wings. That's how we flying through the universe as we understand how this thing brings from the source it came, and keep repeating and repeating this thing to get powerful within one. I'll never get lost, not again. I love how the water tastes. I love how the water flow. It feels so good when it goes down. Just give me a little bit of mineral. A little bit of sea salt for that then. Some trace in that too. Sit down with me in the sun as it sets, and we can converse about the universe. You are not what the world tells you. You are not a division. You are an implement of what's next to be living. Take off this narrative and get back to what you've been given. That light was inside of you, that innocent love what you connect to, and make that something. My brothers and my sisters, don't judge me because I tell you that you're greater. Don't judge me because I tell you that you're greater. Don't judge me because I tell you that you're greater. That's all I'm saying to you. This world got so much to offer and not enough to give. Listen, so much to offer and not enough to give. Don't be confused about being separated from something by being removed from a rib. Your separation was your salvation. That was all a play. Through separation was your salvation. That was all a play. I'm not about to get mixed up in what some man got to say. I'm listening at what the universe do. I'm connected to everything. Some people don't understand how everything is connected. True. Hold on, let me check on the messages. Oh, respect, brother. You already know the vibes. Just saying. It's real just like that.
I go on these tangents sometimes, yo. It's because I feel it like that. I feel it like a piece of art, and it starts flowing through my mind as like I'm watching it take place, and I see it. Like I see it all in a different way that I can actually explain it. If I can actually say how I see this knowledge, it'll be crazy. It'll be more like a movie. You know what I'm saying? It'll be more like a crazy like I don't want to say X-Men like, but it might be X-Men-ish. You know what I'm saying? The way I see shit, like I see it in a particular value, but ultimately it wouldn't be like the storyline of it. It'll be like the conception of aspect and creation. And there's so much power on that to actually see it formulate in different ways. It won't formulate in the ways that you think because we believe in man. We believe in the forearms, the fingers. I said the forearms, the two arms. Well, four arms, right? Your legs and your arms, right? Basically four arms because an arm is an extension, right? So your legs are an extension. They just call them legs, whatever. So anyway, your forearms and your fingers. You know what I'm saying? Like we believe in that aspect. You know what I mean? But ultimately, seeing creation in different ways before this potential actually came in is a particular understanding to just distances. And I always believe that no matter how the distance is existing between the spaces and time, it labels the actual type of creation that comes through this. So we can't speak to anything talking about aliens and all this dumb shit. Like people that we exist around right now is built off division. So everything that come out their mouth is going to be speaking to a value of division. Your mentality is built off a value of a division. Until you stop looking like that, stop looking at yourself as the piece of water on your finger and look at yourself as that piece of water added back to that ocean. Now you're the force of the ocean. Then you can stop separating the value of your understanding, which the universe might help you completely understand yourself in a higher value at that point. And this is real. The universe can't help you understand, but divine can't even help you understand your truth, because ultimately the way you comprehend the universe, your comprehension of the universe is based off you being in a controlling aspect. So if you're always looking at it from a singularity aspect, that means you're a piece of it. I have to look at my energy as a whole because I move as a whole energy. I don't need people to move with me to move the whole energy. My reality of being a part of the whole is the force I have. This is why he told Luke to understand the force in Star Wars. Like, yo, the force is always with you. You got to realize that. This is why they say don't judge, because when you judge, you automatically separate that energy from your actuality. You're separating your energy from the whole. You have force and power within you. But when you judge, you separate your energy from the whole. Women, you're not masculine. You're dealing with your highest, like your first form of characteristic, which was repel. Men have that also. Our repel game is crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is real. But our first form is not to become what the world says, what they know. Your first characteristic is to repel. So when you get in your fight or flight, you want to push shit away from you. That's because when divine came through the etheric water, everything flew outward. So that's not even really the characteristic of the female. That's really the characteristic of the motion of divine. So when you get into your fight or flight mode, you go into divine thought. This is why you want to repel everything. I hope you're watching this whole thing, because if you don't watch this whole thing, you're gonna miss that part I just said. You think you this, you think you that, you think all this. No, when shit going wrong, you go into your first characteristic divine ever laid into existence, and that was the motion of divine energy. And that force of divine energy pushing through the ether repelled everything and created everything off of that repel motion. Think about how things repel off of you. After it goes out in the world, people got to take their little piece of what they think about what you're doing and explain it how they want to explain it. These are creations. These are creations because you're into your natural repel. You're pushing everything off naturally.
would have the world tell it, oh, the man is being too masculine or the women is being masculine now. Like, this shit crazy. No, you always go back to divinity, whether you know it or not. In your negative and your positive, you always go back to divinity. But if you let something come in the middle of these frequencies that are taking place, you're going to explain them wrong to yourself. And when you explain them wrong to yourself, you ultimately get a different download, which means you miss the original uptake that was going to come from that. Because once you repel everything out, the non-ether mixes it all together for you to have a clear understanding. This is the universe doing these things, but you're not watching this process take place. You see it as something different. Well, I went through this, I went through that, and da-da-da-da. Yeah, you don't get it. You're not letting the universe actually do every process within you of explosion energy is going to be the same thing, because what? This is knowing to non-knowing. You might have knew something or thought you knew something about some situation, then you go into non-knowing. Every situation follows the same pattern in existence. Even within characteristics, we're starting to learn and purely understand that everything, even the start of creation, explains every emotion of existence every day of your life. These are the etheric waves. These are the universal motions. These are the waves of existence. This is light. This is the photon understanding. Everything follows the and it's constantly waving over so fast. There's not a time frame to actually document when these characteristics are coming through. It's just happening. So as it rolls through, it happens constantly. And what you're doing is you're mastering the flowetry of what these things are taking place. Once you master how it's taking place in the time and space of each characteristic from the start to where you are in it and how it's manifesting through you, then you start taking control of this shit. Then you start being the all-knowing of that particular energy. That ain't gonna stop me from talking. That was light work right there. What I'm saying is, there is no separation in us and the divine motion. This is why the pineal gland was formulated inside the head the way it is. This is why they talk about the light of the world shining down. That's the same thing as and see, that's what I say, as above, so below, right? But the pineal gland is what is faced in a particular position where the pituitary gland is, to when it opens, it extends this way, but the light shines down, right? Think about this. So if the light is shining down, that means the full amount of light is at the bottom. That's just like divine being in a space of all-knowing. The extended obulus, or the phallus in the mind, extending through to puncture into the next dimension, or the unknowing, which would be outside of self, right? So that's where the light is going to travel up through and fill up another dimension of aspects. This is when divine is coming into a whole nother world, which is going to create repel once again into the new dimension, because we are in this dimension right here, which is inside of a body. So the phallus and the mind has to erect. This is why you had a soft spot in the top of your head when you was a baby, because your energy was so pure. For you to be trained as a baby, from that point, that soft spot would have never closed up. The pineal gland was the phallus that they really wanted to castrate. This is why they started giving you shit later in life to calcify it. See, castrate, calcify. Castrate, calcify. Castrate, calcify. They can't even get too slick away from their words. The reality of the words is the same process. Please support my stream. Please support the live. You're not getting this knowledge like this nowhere else. I'm getting direct downloads. I'm telling you, this is deep. Please support the stream. Allow me to be able to keep doing this for you. Let's take a break. I have to go through all that just to take a damn break. I just turned to some matter of fact. That's what I do.
Only one, you'll be my only love. I saw her rise like the sun. I fell in love with her golden locks. We talked on the phone for hours. And her smile was like the perfect flower. I could just stare at her for hours. The radiant one, my mother's middle son. Mother Sunrise has begun to gather the people. Her voice loud like an African drum, but still calm like a whisper. I drunk her essence, a perfect elixir. Now let's dance to the rhythm. But see, the truth was always forbidden, and black love it was not permitted. Now come, just follow me, come heal with me. Let's escape the system. This is not living. See, we so quick to judge and easy to hurt. And who hit harder and who hit first? See, we need ancient love, unconditional love. See the pain, see that what changed us, turned us into distant strangers. See, we need love.
And see, ultimately, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the situations, and it's crazy how movies talk to situations, and you're gonna watch life, and people always telling you, oh, don't listen to that don't mean nothing, this don't mean nothing. Nah, everything means something. Everything has a particular understanding because the energy exists. If the energy exists, that means the energy is not fairy tale. It exists in a way of thinking, and that's a frequency. And once a frequency hits you, it changes your existence. We got to keep in mind, most of us are water. We are water-based beings. We are etheric-based beings. You know what I'm saying? This is water right here. You know what I'm saying? This is waterfall now. This is ether. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a conduit. We are conduits. We have small follicles of water that come out of our body that solidify through hair. You know what I'm saying? To conduit electricity. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are made up in these ways to understand our connection to once we came. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, having the clarity of understanding the dissonance or the ultimate connection that we have within our synapses of how we are laid inside ourselves. Water fills up a shape. That shape that it fills up is basically the inside of you. You're trying to harness or understand your existence inside of you. That's like fighting a whole nother complete war. It's like fighting a whole nother complete war because you're feeling everything on the outside of you. Silk, cotton, pain, water, wood, fire, air. You're feeling these things on the outside of you, and you're comprehending them in your mind the way you see fit. You know what I'm saying? This is an everyday war, everyday fight for you. This is like normal ways of thinking. But these are waves of energy that come from that comes from the universe. You know what I'm saying? And they explain particular things. They've been explaining particular things for eons. And people, they grow up in this life and then they become something from when you're a childhood. You go through this particular energy and then you go into this different energy as you get older. These are frequencies that exist in because you have to harness an understanding. There's an understanding to the placement of the flow. And if you don't see that, you kind of get washed in the tides. This is how you get stuck in a time frame. And the universe it has unconditional love. So if you can make it through the suffering or the tidal wave of the spirituality, the spin, the waves of existence that's flowing, if you can make it through the tidal wave, you get to stay there in that tidal wave and live through the golden aspects because the energy will be foregoing then. The complete understanding of divine energy will be in that area. So now you will live the golden ages of that aspect. But there will always be a fight in between the light filling up an aspect of darkness because there was once no light. Now there is light coming in. So as it fills up, you see the difference in between the fluctuating value of the darkness being removed and the light coming in. That's the time we're living in now. We're getting to a completion of filling up this existence. And once you're in a completion, you only feel your main characteristic. Your main characteristic was repel when the light first came in. So no, women, you're not masculine. You're not a masculine. That's not what you're going through. You're in the highest form of repel. Man, you're not woman. Thinking that, oh, this must be feminine energy I'm picking up on. No, you're getting in the form of repel. That's it. It's pushing you to be your first characteristic, to push everything off. Because while it's being flung out in the universe, it's being recreated. It's being recreated. The non-ether is the spin because the force is pushing it off so fast. It's spinning. So it's mixing everything that you've been dealing with together. These are new creations coming into existence. You got to be mindful of this, because when you are flinging things off, that's what you're creating, what you fling off. So the next worlds that you formulate into off of what you flung off will be in your non-ether. It'll be in your non-ether. It'll be in what you mixed up, in what you repelled off of your force. That's the new worlds to come. I hope you have been repelling with unconditional love. That's why they say kill it with kindness. That because your next worlds will be kind to you. Just think about what I'm saying. Kill them with kindness, because your worlds will be kind to you. Let them be, because your worlds will be kind to you. This is your karma. This is your memory. They're tricking you to throw away your memory, to throw away everything good about how you would make it good. They'll just tell you, how would you make your world? They're not going to tell you that what you throw away is what you're making your world with. What you don't deal with is what you're making your world with. What you don't treat kindly is what you're making your world with. They're not telling you that your mortar and your bricks and your metal rods and your screws and your nails and your hammers and your workers. They're not telling you those are the materials you're using to build your world. So your choices of how you treat people is how your world will be built for you. Yeah, it's about to get deep. Your choices of how you deal with people is how you will build your new world. That's the bricks and mortar. Yeah, that's the bricks and mortar. Don't let nobody tell you about your universal principle. You got to comprehend these frequencies as they come from the universe and comprehend them correctly. When you get this information wrong, you perceive wrong, then what you dish out is what you will go to. They are making, listen, this is why they are making you angry and making you push them away in particular ways. Because the anger, the things you throw out from anger and you get rid of it, that's the shit you got to deal with in your next world. You get a lifetime to build your next existence. You get a lifetime to build where you're going to be reincarnated at. I'm serious. This is what's taking place. This is why the world impresses itself so much on you. So many places you love, little nooks and crannies. So many unsatisfied destinations you couldn't get done in this life. All these things manifest in your next life as things you could not handle with kindness and peace, to where subsequently it would serve you. You die hating things, so ultimately that is a conquest now. You have to live in your next life. Now you have to face that hate that you had forever. You gotta look at that shit every day and be nice to it, or you know what? That's your karma in your next life. The non-ether, yo. The non-ether. Spiraling upwards in all its majesty. The world is lying to y'all, yo. You're not becoming masculine and you're not becoming feminine. That's not what's happening. You're going back into the first characteristic that happened, which was repel. It is natural, because repelling the world is divine kicking in for you to separate yourself from the system. That's what that means. It's making you, it's forcing you to repel, but you're comprehending it wrong. All that energy y'all got right now, you're putting it into the wrong shit. You're putting it into the wrong shit. All that energy, you're putting it into the wrong shit. Only if you knew the things you went through was setting you up to be an anchor as leaving the system. You was going to be a progenitor of standing as the image of the direction to say, this is how we getting the fuck up out of here. Whoever want to smoke can get it. That same energy y'all got with these little fucking groups being stuck up in this system and all this bullshit, solidifying false realities to a characteristic that came upon you that you had no clue what it was, but you described it as falsity. When in fact you were supposed to describe that as the universal frequency of what it was. And from the start, it was repel, nothing more. You repelled a lot of things, but you accepted the wrong things. That energy was supposed to use for divine. Man. All right. Divine said was said right once. That's why people keep repeating bullshit. It get deep. Yeah, my phone about to die. So I'm gonna get off here, but I'm gonna keep building on the other one. So if you over here, just go catch it on it's another live that's playing on my page. It's the same one right now. If you go over to my page, you can jump right on that one. My phone about to die, so I gotta come out of the group. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep going for a minute on the regular Facebook joint and the YouTube shit. So if you over here in the group, just shoot all over to, you know what I'm saying, to the to my actual page, and you can catch me. I'm still cooking. All right. Love y'all. Peace. All right. So that's what's taking place. But the world knew that. The world knew where the big signals was coming at. They knew where the signals was coming when they was coming at a mass. They knew the people who was gonna get the big signals. They was like, so we gotta find a way to block these signals. How do we block these signals? We gotta give more tangible reality. We gotta give more to these particular energies. People be like, yo, why they don't serve this? Why they don't serve that? Because it's not about you right now. It's about the ones who's gonna help you get to where you got to go. And if they can stop that energy, those frequencies from comprehending them, coming into the universe the correct way, and that's what they did. They give y'all these fucked up narratives. They give y'all these fucked up understandings, and they save the wrong people in the wrong direction. They give you something else to do. Like it's the worst shit, and then they plaster that shit all over the world to show you that the frequency's fucked up. So then you download the frequency wrong. They showing you through. That's why they said, yo, we gonna change the TVs to plasma TVs because they knew these frequencies was coming in. So they knew if they can get these frequencies first, you know what I'm saying? Why you think they got satellites every damn where? They be reading these frequencies come out the water, yo. They read them straight coming out the ether. You know what I'm saying? I don't make this shit up. It's real. Ain't nobody gonna say what I'm saying right now, yo. I'm telling you, ain't nobody gonna say this. And even if the powers that be can't comprehend the frequencies, they got MFers or other entities that can comprehend the frequencies and who they going to. That's a fact. They got people who can comprehend the frequencies and where they going to. So this is why it's imperative for us to be on our high meditation value. You know what I'm saying? Your high synapses being able to pull in the right stuff. So your frequency is right. Trying to get me to stop talking right now, yo. Hit me with everything. Hit me with everything right now, yo. The throat stuff can't get me though. I like water. Love it. I love water. It's my ish. I'm like all elements. You know what I'm saying? But I'm mostly water though. I got all the elements. I got the wind, got the fire, got the earth. I'm like Captain Planet out this bitch. You already know the vibes. Naga. But yeah. You already know the vibes. It's crazy too, yo. Like I don't know, yo, but I wish y'all just sit down and really think about what I'm saying, yo. Share this live, man. Share this live to people, man. Just get people to think about what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And if you can't comprehend it, holla at me. We can have a whole conversation. I got smoke for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I got smoke for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's that good smoke. You know what I'm saying? Come chill with me and let's roll up real fast. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you
I'm gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk to you in a way you ain't never been talked to before. You know what I'm saying? This is what Divine gave me the power to do. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's two energies inside you, and they've been fighting over you for a long time. And then it's frequencies that's hitting you, and you're not comprehending how to decipher between these values. You know what I'm saying? Come holler at me, man. Come sit down and talk to Naga. You know what I'm saying? The world ain't gonna tell you what I'm about to tell you. And the old heads, the ones, the shamans and everybody out here, the gurus and everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they deep. They deep with particular understandings, but they ain't got this. They ain't got this right here because they ain't reach out to me, and they know why they ain't reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? Because Divine, like, stay where you at. You did enough. You did enough already. I'm trying to get them to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And they ultimately, everybody playing their role. Everybody playing a role right now. You know what I'm saying? Some roads are so long walk they can't walk all the way back up them stairs. They're not about to walk all the way back up there. They already where they at. They created their world already. What they repelled is the world they want to live in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about this shit. Like, they started hitting me. I'm like, yo, they creating their world, yo. They creating their world, yo. That's what they creating, yo. That's crazy right now. Like, but you won't see it like that, though. You won't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to start having forums, though. I'm ready to start having, like, group conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can have like 10 people up here right now, though. I can have 10 people come on here right now. I got enough space for 10 people. You know what I'm saying? So I need to start having you know what I'm saying, those type of bills. I want more people to come to the house. I need to come through, you know what I'm saying? And we need to chop this up because there's science to all of this. And I need to be able to see if I can push your mind in a certain direction, because everybody has a platform that they standing on as far as a mental capability. But that mental capability, you ain't been pushed off the edge to understand, you know what I'm saying, that shit don't mean nothing. I'm not saying it don't. It means something from where you going to jump from. You know what I'm saying? That's where you're going to jump from. You know what I'm saying? From what you know. And I'm hoping when you jump, it's high enough for you to soar. You know what I'm saying? So that's type shit I'm on right now. Like, I hear a lot of people talking, but nobody be catching my interest. It's only one person. It's real, yo. I just been peeping. One person new on the book that's been dropping some shit, and I'm like, damn, they sound like me. You know what I'm saying? So salute to them. But I think they just reached out to from my page or whatever. Like, they found me. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was fire, and I was like, damn, they talking some of this. They talking the same shit, and it's structure with it. So I'll be willing to promote them. My joint be getting beat up, yo. They be banging my shit down. So, but yeah, yo, this knowledge, this knowledge is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is for everyone in existence. You know what I'm saying? To understand, and it's not as hurtful as everybody believe it is. Once you understand what's really taking place and why it's taking place and where you're at in existence, why you feel like there's a distance, why you feel like you're not a part of certain shit, like why certain energies don't serve you. Like, there's a question, there's an answer for all of this shit. And it's not the particular answer that everybody thinks it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the question, Young Pharaoh and everybody was like, where you come from? Like, my boy, like Kala, like, yo, your DNA don't exist. Like, it's like, where does it come from? Like, I was told that too. I was told a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? Or actually shown the vibration of where these energies come from. You know what I'm saying? And it's a conversation for that. You know what I mean? But I got to sit down with brothers, you know what I'm saying? I got to sit down with people and have a conversation. Like, we got the bill, like, not no niggas gotta, you know what I'm saying, like, kind of put down the bag for a minute, you know what I'm saying, just sit in a room and just build, or even on screen and just build, you know what I'm saying, like, I've been being shown some shit, you know what I'm saying, like, and it's, I don't know, That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know right now, but you know what I mean. And plus, my dreams be ill, yo. Like the shit I be seeing lately, it's high octane, yo. Divine on something else right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everybody can see that because you're still wrapped in the world type shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this swag gonna have to be here with the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's hip hop. You know what I mean? Like it was always that. It was always that energy of being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, it was ill. Like it was be funny. Me and my homeboys back in the day, we talking like, yo, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we be talking science and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make and it be funny and shit. Like, you know, they're like, yo, son, da 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 da. But you be talking like you talking mathematics. You know what I'm saying? Just to be stupid, like, you know what I mean? But to actually have a comfortability and be able to be in a scientific mentality and be accurate. You know what I'm saying? And then mix that up with like to be able to mix that up by saying phrases from movies or you know what I'm saying or but you mean shit, but you saying shit that got value. You know what I'm saying? Like to mix it up with like phrases from movies or whatever have you. Like that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. It's like yo, like who would actually be able to digress and increased a mental capability by switching up the value of his particular understanding of wordplay by subsequently using other phrases that may have similar meaning or anonymic meanings to the value. Like who can actually do shit like that? This is who we are as a culture. You know what I'm saying? Man, get that negative shit out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? No negative, no negative. All positive energy, man. Just positive energy, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you got hate for me in the world somewhere out there, I love you. I love you. I don't care if you got hate for me. I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. If you didn't do me right in the world, that's fine. I love you still. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. If you want to do right by me because you did me wrong, you can do right by me. Fix your right. Fix your right your wrong. If you want to do right by me, the door is always open to do right by me. That's what you choose to do in life. Do right by me. That's what you want to do. The door's open. You ain't gotta have so much hate in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Do right by me. If that's you want to do that to fix your energy, do right by me then. The door is always open to do right. You already know the vibe. My Cash App at the bottom of the screen, so is my PayPal. Support the stream. You know what I mean? We as a culture need to come together, yo. You know what I mean? Everybody. Leo Lion, what's good, brother? Salute to you. Salute to you. I appreciate you coming through. You know what I mean? Appreciate you coming through. You know what I mean? You know, ultimately, when you can gain a certain commitment to yourself and your way of thinking, the energy that comes off of you will garner a level of respect for yourself. And that's the things you will attract in your life. People are always going to perceive a particular energy about you because this is your residual energy, like travels. But to renew your energy is the value of the truth that you will use in a particular understanding that will separate you from that understanding of once that energy came. This is you doing self cleansing. This is you doing self renewal. This is you doing self awareness. This is you doing particular understandings that have to do with you and your aspect of reality. Once you understand that, you get a whole different understanding. Yo, my hands be looking big, yo. Hands be looking big, like, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once you understand these particular things, then you can understand your placement and what it means for you to actually be here because of where you fall in this whole thing that we call life. Like I ain't gonna hold y'all, but I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is Naga's Knowledge. I am Eriel Star.
Come through, build with me. This episode was about Repel and the light. I hope you got knowledge from it. You know what I'm saying? I hope you enjoy kicking it with me. You know what I mean? You already know the vibes. Love.